What's good? It's Ozman the Wizard.
And Naima.
This is not
another damn podcast.
Presented by
Our Damn Selves.
233.
Yes.
33. 233, yeah. So what's good, kid? What's good? Before we get into it, got so definitely 233 might be it. We might not be a 234th because we're gonna drop some bombs on this one. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Could be an episode we get canceled. So before we get into that, what's up, kid?
Nothing much. Just kind of hanging out, doing the damn thing, try to get myself right, try to get things together, trying to balance. Okay. Life is a balancing act. It's all about balancing.
This is our platform. We don't have a boss. When I say cancel, I'm talking about cancel culture. It's like we can't be canceled by like the network and like that.
No,
talking about cancel culture, yeah, because you know how cancel culture gets down.
It'd be too much sometimes. It's like, I mean, you can have a difference of opinion about things. I mean, some stuff is just unacceptable. Like if you're like a piece of shit, you know, if you're just like an evil piece of shit person, then yes. But it's like if you guys have a difference of opinion and it's like my opinion is different than yours.
Shit now is like if motherfuckers like don't like what you're saying, they will try to cancel.
Like, you are like, no, it shouldn't be like that. As long as stuff isn't hateful or hurtful. If it's hurtful, hateful,
can't get
stuff
mad
like that, then yes.
An opinion and shit. Yeah, come on.
Yeah, difference of opinion, no. But hurtful, hateful things that keep a narrative going, that's not cool doing that.
But before we get into the heavy lifting, well, this story is heavy as well. So you heard about the story about 21-year-old Janiyah Murphy. You heard that story?
I have not, because I've been off, kind of. Yeah. The
young lady murdered. Her 1-year-old was missing.
Oh, the one in Wheeling.
Story in Wheeling, yeah.
I know. I just didn't know the young lady's name. I did not know the young lady's name in Wheeling.
Tragic, yeah.
And I have to work out that way for work. I have to go out to Wheeling sometimes for work. I have to be out that way.
Well, unfortunately, it didn't end well. Well, they do. In good news, they do have a suspect. 26-year-old Mill Fowler has been arrested. And charged. But sadly, they found the body of young
they found the baby.
Jasmine Angel Dobbs, the 1-year-old. They found it in the water in Hammond, Indiana. Now, so far, Fowler hasn't been charged with her death, but he is charged with her mother's death. Yeah, the Janiyah's death. So, the sad story right there. I was hoping it would turn out they would find the kid because, like, that was obviously a huge Amber Alert went out about that.
Yeah.
So I was hoping, but when they said, so rest in peace to both Janiyah and Jasmine.
Yeah, and the fact that girl was only 21, like that's somebody's baby. That's a child in itself, a 21-year-old. That's somebody's baby. And then a 1-year-old is like, who does that? Who kills a 21-year-old and a 1-year-old? Like, I mean, I hope he never sees the light of day ever again.
To put this out. I was hoping, like when I was originally looking at the story, I was hoping to put it out as a missing person story. Then I saw, I was like, they found the girl. Yeah, because that's why we'll peel the curtain back a little bit when you saw him, because I was reading that story and you asked like what I was looking at earlier, like a few minutes.
Right
before we recorded, you asked, it's like, that's why my face was, I was like, they found the girl dead.
The baby. Yeah, because I saw that yesterday, because I was hoping that, I was like.
Yeah, I didn't know that I was getting more details on it, because I was going to report the story, because like people bitch and complain about not reporting like missing kids, like black kids. So I was like, let's be part of the problem. Like, let's be part of the solution, not the problem.
And not part of the problem, exactly.
Part of the solution. Like, we have a platform, we'll report on the story. So instead of bitching about somebody else, you report, motherfucker. But I'll get off my soapbox because we got plenty of that later on. But
exactly.
So I was going to report the story, and I saw, they found the baby dead. But they do have a suspect in custody, though, so that's a good thing. But
because my thing is, like, with stuff nowadays, it's like, getting away with murder, you're not going to get away. Forensics is too good. It's fucking ring cameras everywhere.
Cameras literally everywhere, whether it's a ring camera, whether it's a cell phone cam, a dash cam, a lamppost cam,
the lamppost,
traffic cam. It's like everywhere.
Traffic cams, it's something. Gas station camera.
It's like somebody's gonna see you. You can't just disappear like nowadays. Without help, at least. Yeah, you just can't disappear without.
And then it's trackers. People have trackers on stuff. Like you can track things. Like you got an Apple Watch, you got a Samsung watch. Like you can track.
Google Earth, you got a phone and shit. It's like
you got a phone.
You can find your location through Google Earth and shit.
Mm-hmm. Your car, like it's in your car. Like your location, you can find your car. You can track that. Yeah. So like you're gonna get caught. And then like, was he involved with Miss Murphy? Is that how he's?
Let me read the story. Yeah, is he the kid's father? I don't know.
Or is he like an ex or something? Because that's another thing when people like if somebody dies, they're going to look at a mate or an ex-mate first. That's what they're going to look at. Like, were you
always you look inside?
Inside
like
first.
Very rare is some random like Michael Myers is a fucking movie and shit. It's
exactly
it's very rare random like that.
And then like the serial killers that were
somebody that knew him closely.
Like the serial killer, we could count Dahmer, Gacy, Ted Bundy.
You had the Unabomber and shit. Yeah. What's the
Manson people, Charlie Manson's people.
Yeah, Kaczynski.
Yeah. That's like five. That's like five different things that we can think of on like this whole. The Zodiac killer. They never caught who that was. Yeah.
Son of Sam was Berkowitz in New York. Yeah, it's like It's typically they find them pretty. Yeah. Boston Strangler. I forgot his name. I don't remember who was the Boston, but it's like less than 10. Like probably
right. It's not a lot.
The last 100 years, like that's probably like 10.
Right. It's not a lot. It's just not a lot.
The DC sniper, the Muhammad, that's another. It's like it's like a handful of people. It's like you can name over the. But typically, if somebody's like dies or comes up missing, you're gonna check with the friends and family first. Like because typically it's somebody you knew and shit. Yeah,
it's somebody that you knew, right? Exactly.
And most of the time, these crimes get solved pretty easy. It's like it's not some random boogeyman. Like that's Law and Order and shit. Yeah, it's not a TV show. Yeah, it's not
it's not. Yeah,
it's like typically.
Well, this isn't a Stephen King novel. Basically, it's not that. Right. It's not. It's just not that.
Both murders are like solved pretty quickly. It's like it's like it's like it's typically like say two cats have beef with each other. The other one said like you better watch your back. If the other he turns up dead, it's like he killed him. It's like that's how most 90% of murders.
Especially you better watch your back. Someone's gonna get you. Really?
Most murders are just like, you gonna you better not let me catch you alone. I'm gonna fuck you up, man. And if that person dies, like they did it. Like,
the prime suspect.
That's how most murders are. Like, the stuff you see in the movies, that's fake. Most murders are that. It's like somebody had beef. Somebody said, hey, okay, I got you. Yeah. You want to talk shit? All right.
Especially in these domestic situations. Like if it was like an abusive ex or something, like that. But you were saying, but go ahead. You were saying that we read the story. You were saying that was a gun.
It says person of interest, and it doesn't say the connection. Yeah, so
it doesn't say the connection. Okay,
it doesn't say the connection. Yeah, but it just say.
What's the piece of shit's name again? What's his name?
Let's get this fucker's name. 26-year-old. Come on, keep your shit on screen. Emil Fowler.
Piece of shit.
From Pine Grove. I don't even know where Pine. Or is it Pengree? I didn't even say it right. It's Pengree Grove. Like I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that shit. I'll bring it back up. Maybe.
I don't know what that is. Yeah. And I know some obscure cities in Illinois, but I don't know.
This motherfucker.
Pengree Grove. Pengree Grove. That's what it looks like.
I was about to say Pine Valley. You say that's all my children.
Yeah, Pengree. I think that's how you say it. That's what phonetically it looks like.
Shout out Erica Kane and shit. But let's move on. We gotta talk about the story of the year so far. We gotta do it. We're gonna cover it big time. Kyle fucking Rittenhouse. Yeah. I just wanted to
I'm preparing myself.
Yeah, because for my Funny or Die fans, It's about to get real in this bitch right now. So
I'm trying to woosah. Now, I said I would like to make a disclaimer. I have not watched any of the trial. However, I've seen memes. I've seen memes and I've seen some screenshots.
Like, yeah, everybody has seen, of course, is the Rittenhouse crying. That's the big one. The other one is the judge going off is like, don't get brazen with me. Like, that's the meme of what a judge just snapped on like the prosecutor and shit. So there's a couple of memes out there. Those are probably the two, Rittenhouse crying and the judge, like the brazen like comment. Yeah, those are the two that are.
So I said, I would like to preface this by saying that I have not watched because my energy, I just didn't want to, I just don't want to get my head's in a different space right now. I'm just trying to give, I'm just trying not to give energy to that right now. I'm just not trying to.
I followed this from the beginning. That's the only reason I've watched it. I haven't watched any of the Ahmaud Arbery killers try to kill his killers. I watched maybe like 5 minutes of that. I haven't watched much of that. But this Rittenhouse I've watched.
I've seen some captions from the McMichaels. I think that's what their names are, the McMichaels.
Yeah, I haven't.
And Rhodey something, Robbins, I think.
I watched maybe 10 minutes tops of that whole trial. Like this Rittenhouse, I've watched quite a bit of it. I haven't watched it all, but I saw the McGinnis guy on the stand. That's the reporter that was out there that was following him that said, "Hey, so what are you doing now?" And he was like, "That guy, the first video showed him."
Yeah. And he was like, "Well, we're glad to have you out," because he had like the rifle. He had the
rifle. Say, "Yeah, I got my and I got my
his medic pack
right here. If anybody,
his little medic pack,
running into danger, like whatever, the video, yeah." And like McGinnis was like, he said, he was more worried about the motherfuckers on the roof than Rittenhouse, which I agree. It's like, so I can see him. I can't see any of them motherfuckers.
Right, because
say that, because it was like you saw he put his camera up with other armed guys on the roof there.
Yeah, when you're on the roof, then you a sniper for real.
I'm more nervous about them than Rittenhouse because
if you can shoot,
those guys basically. Yeah.
If you can shoot from a rooftop, you can actually shoot.
Yeah,
it takes a real skill to shoot from a rooftop. It takes a real skill to do that. Okay. So you can shoot. You can.
Well, I start with my controversial statement and work my way backwards. I posted on Facebook very prominently. You saw this, yeah.
I saw it.
Prediction: the Rittenhouse will be acquitted of all three shootings, like both killings and of the shooting of Gage Grosgruitz. Like I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. The one who they call it in now. He had his arm vaporized. That's what he said. He was on the stand. Aww. Basically, his arm got vaporized when he shot it. Yeah, so that bicep, we saw that shit. It looked like a spaghetti and shit. That's the way it like. It was, yeah. So we saw that. But I think all three shootings, because the way the trial is going, I think Lionel Hutz is the prosecutor. He's not the sharpest knife in the drawer. This prosecutor.
And for you guys who don't know Lionel Hutz, one of my favorite characters from The Simpsons, played by the late great Phil Hartman.
Yeah, the late great Phil Hartman faked his death, and I think he's the prosecutor in Kenosha right now. That's what I think.
Lionel Hutz.
Because it's
awful. Because Lionel Hutz was the worst attorney ever.
Yeah,
ever in history of any television show.
He's neck and neck with him. I'm like, yeah, this prosecutor ain't doing no for anybody that wanted Rittenhouse convicted. Yeah, this prosecutor is basically he's not good.
It's like, here's the thing. You're just like, okay, here. You're like, this is it. Don't mess it up. Don't mess it up. And he just like, what are you doing? We have a textbook. We have a textbook defense right here. We have a textbook case. It's an open and shut. We got open and shut right here. How do you mess up an open and shut? How do you mess it up? How?
But yeah, shit's crazy. But yeah, I watched that day when McGinnis was on the stand when they asked him about everything that went on. Like, because then they showed other videos. Like, that's what I say. Like, y'all are reacting to this on emotion, which I get. Like how we got here. Because let's back up a little bit. Like I said, we going along with this shit.
Right.
We might this might be it. Rittenhouse might be the rest of the episode.
We have to break it down. This is
a lot going on. So,
because I followed the case from the beginning with like knowing what happened with Rittenhouse. I said, well, I haven't followed the trial. That's what I said. I have not followed the trial, but I know about the Wisconsin and Kenosha.
Other videos have been presented now as evidence. Yeah, but let's go back to the beginning. Even before all of this started, what happened a year and a half ago, damn near right now? The
George Floyd's murder happened
in Minneapolis, which Chauvin is in jail.
Memorial Day weekend. Yep. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So then a little bit after that, like a few days, that's when the unrest started. Originally in Minneapolis and eventually around the country. And I think even around the world, I think it was some looting and stuff going on. Like
probably.
I want to say, yeah.
So we saw firsthand what happened in Chicago. We saw people run out of Best Buy with flat screen TVs. We saw that on the news.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I was out on Commercial Avenue, like in person.
Oh yeah.
So I was face to face with this shit. And that's when I was out there. We did like there was a guy out there with a samurai sword. We saw this. You saw it.
Yeah, I saw that.
A machete. It was a sword or a machete. I forget what he had. It was
and you fist bumped him. He was like, brother, I don't want no trouble.
Right, yeah. Yeah. But getting back to like what that has to do with what happened in Kenosha, I get why dude was out there with his shit. And in Chicago, over on Stony Island, it's a fucking cell phone store.
Across from the masjid, right there on 73rd.
Right, yeah. By the Heralds. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right?
By the Heralds, across from the Mosque Mariam masjid.
Yeah. Yep. And those guys were out there with their AR-15s, and guess what?
Their AR-15s.
Guess what store on the block didn't get looted? That one.
So there was a guy on the parking lot on the ground, and was a guy on the roof, and they had their AR-15s. They didn't hand was on the trigger.
Like those guys. Just like those guys in Kenosha.
Hand on the trigger. Mm-hmm. AR-15. They just holding it like, hey, if you step over here.
Mm-hmm. So when all of that went down, like pretty much the whole country was caught off guard. Like nobody was ready for that, except those guys in that fucking store. We on Stony Island. They were the only ones that were ready for this shit. Like pretty much nobody was ready. So then fast forward a few months later in August, the Jacob Blake shooting happens in Kenosha.
Jacob Blake happened.
That shooting happened. And so then the unrest started in Kenosha. And so then these guys, I forget the name of the militia, like get names, but it was a militia in Kenosha. Let me let's back up.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get the exact name, but there's a bunch of guys. They even had a Facebook page and everything. Is
basically vigilante.
Kenosha Guard is what they call it. Yeah, the Kenosha Guard. Yeah, it's a militia group. Yeah. And basically, it's like a bunch of guys out there. It's like, we're not gonna let what happened during the George Floyd happen here. So like, if you want to come join us and like protect Kenosha, come on, we're gonna be out here with our guns. Come on out and help. Yeah, so that's what it was. Yeah, that's what happened. Why the armed guys were out there, because it was in response to what happened a few months earlier. So it wasn't just because that's the story that the media put out. Yeah, okay, they were out there because
businesses got destroyed, and some of these
businesses and all of that. That wasn't it.
Yeah, businesses got destroyed, and some of these businesses
it's like right after that. That happened in May. This is August, so like some businesses were just getting back.
August, so no reprieve, right? So let's say that your place got hit in June, and then it got hit, and then you just start getting your flaring back, and it got hit again in August. You might say, "Fuck it, I'm not." You just might close your doors for them and be like, fuck it, I'm over this. You might just do that.
With all your money, you reopened like early August, and then the end of August, the Jacob Blake happened. Is like, so then like the men were like, hey, we're gonna protect her. They put together a militia in Kenosha. And that's the guys that we saw in the video. Like, they saying that Rittenhouse wasn't one of them. Now I think they just trying to distance themselves from that motherfucker. That's what
how people do. Like,
hey, we saw him out there. He wasn't part of our group.
It was him. It wasn't us.
He wasn't part of us.
That ain't us.
He wasn't an official member of the militia, but he was out there. That's basically that's what they said. So they threw his ass under the bus, basically. And most of the other guys out there were grown men, which I also posted in another post. Shout out my girl.
They were grown men.
Lady
Red. They were like they were at least like our age, probably like our age group at least. They were grown ass men. Yeah, I saw Lady Red's post. Yeah,
I posted her thing. I was like, Rittenhouse. I'm gonna read the exact quote. I like reading.
Yeah. And I 100%, that's why I gave her a thumbs up. I 100% agree with what she said.
Let me find my Lady Red quote. I can't find it now. Come on, Red. Red is known to like post and delete, so she might have taken this down. Red is she specializes in post and delete and shit. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with she said she's a Leo, so she also I'm a Leo.
I gotta start screenshotting Red's.
She's a Leo, so
Oh, here it is. I found it. Yeah. So red, yeah. Because she had her question of the day for her radio show on 106.3. She said, you think Kyle Rittenhouse was defending himself, or is he a monster that had a white supremacist motive to kill people? That was her question. And just my answer, like I answered, I said Rittenhouse should have never even been out there at all, basically.
100, I agree.
That he wasn't mature enough to handle the situation when shit got real. That's basically what
100.
It's like
speaking facts.
When shit got real, like he's 17, he wasn't ready. Like I said, it was like he wasn't the only guy because Wisconsin is open carry. So you can walk down, like that's why I get like it looks kind of weird. You seeing like looking at the video, you see people out there with their rifles, but it's especially people that crossed the border that were coming from Illinois, they saw that. But Wisconsin is that's totally legal. You can walk down the street.
Yeah, it's legal. You can open carry. In Wisconsin.
So some of the people that saw them was like, yeah, well, what are they out there? But it was unrest. Like I would have had, I'm a 2A guy. If I'm out there, I'd have definitely been armed and shit. Yeah, if I'm out there in that mess. Yeah. Well, me personally, I wouldn't be out there. I'd stay away from shit like that. Yeah.
Right, because it's kind of like why
8 o'clock curfew. Guess what? I'll take my ass home.
Yeah. I'll be watching Wheel of Fortune. So I'll be watching.
Take my ass home.
I have my ass inside.
But getting back to the situation, yeah, McGinnis was talking. Then they show him walking with Rittenhouse at down the street. And Rittenhouse was shouting out, "Medic! Anybody need a medic?" So yeah, he was out there.
He was out
there as a medic. Yeah, people are saying he was out there specifically to kill Black people, like
because people was like, he has gloves. They're like, why does he have on gloves? Because he doesn't want to get fingerprints on his rifle. Because people say he doesn't want to get fingerprints on his rifle.
In 2020, somebody wearing gloves wasn't that unusual.
Gloves is not.
So, yeah. But 2020.
Let me tell you, when I first went back to work and I had to go into public places in the field because they was like, okay, now you guys can go back out. I had on gloves. I wore gloves. Now I just sanitize my hands. I don't wear the gloves anymore, but I still have my sanitizer.
Before that, like when shit first got shut down,
I was gloved up.
April 1. Now I wouldn't leave the house, like whether like stepping outside my door, like mask. Gloves on. That's what
gloves on. Me too.
I was at in 2020. Yeah. So somebody wearing gloves in 2020, not all that unusual.
Not all that strange. It's just not.
So I didn't even but they did show him like walking, like medic. Anybody need a medic? Like he was like walking up to seeing like offering like help. He walked away from the dealer.
Offering help.
That's how he ended up away from the dealer to be fair, where he was walking away, like seeing if people needed help.
To see if anyone needed assistance.
He walks away from that the dealer he was supposed to be protecting. So he ends up about 3 blocks away. And then around the same time, let's back up a little bit more, is people were out all day and was in Kenosha protesting. You know, is probably the daytime stuff that was like in the central district. I call it more like the downtown areas.
The downtown, right.
It was probably mostly peaceful, that stuff. Like I said, I haven't seen a lot of videos, but I imagine it was mostly peaceful. The stuff in the broad daylight, like in the downtown, probably was mostly peaceful, that stuff. But then at the 8 o'clock curfew, the cops were like, okay, y'all got to go now. Been out here, they started pushing them out of that central area. But the way they pushed them down the way towards the place where where they were out, they pushed the protesters down that way. So especially if you're out there, you see a bunch of armed white dudes, you're like, oh,
armed white guys who look like they may or may not have Confederate flags, maybe.
Yeah, so
just saying they look a little.
Visual just looked bad, like because the way they down that way. Yeah.
Let's put it like this: if you were white people, let's flip it. If you were white people and you were protesting something peacefully, and then they push you in an area where there are Black people with berets, with the berets on looking like Black Panthers, you would be like,
someone to talk about the Black Panthers as part of this.
Oh, you would go, it would be the same thing. You would
I'm gonna talk about the Black Panthers because I think I have the name of this podcast. This is bigger than Rittenhouse. This thing
it is.
That's what I said. Bigger than Rittenhouse might be the name of this. Yeah, like this is not just about Kyle Rittenhouse. It's bigger than that. It's not at this point. Yeah, but so they got the protesters got pushed down that way towards where the armed men were at, and then of course like shit gets real. They decide to get a heat and like shouting matches and all of that.
And my thing as police, and like I said, and I'm not sure. Like obviously, Kenosha doesn't have the resources that Chicago has. Because Chicago is just a huge city. Kenosha just is not. and they may not have the resources, but come on, who thought that was a good idea to push these people over? Like, come on, like comments, like, come on, bruh, come on, just come on. That's all I'm saying. You gotta use your common sense sometimes. You gotta use your common. Like, I'm not going to push people over to an area with people with rifles. I'm just not. Like, that's not. Starts
really like heating up. Like when all of this is going on. You know, Rittenhouse is in that same area now, like asking medic. He's in that same.
As a seven,
all of this is going on.
And let's put this in perspective, because people keep on, going to the thing about, think about how you were when you were 17. Mm-hmm. Think about you, like when I was 17. I think about when I was 17. I wasn't mature. You wasn't mature. We were not mature at 17. And I'm not giving him.
How he ended up at 17 with the gun to begin with. I found that out during this trial.
Exactly, like he's with a gun.
Here's how he ended up with the gun to begin with. When it was fast, go back again in 2020. Yeah, what happened? What the government do? It gave out stimmies during that time. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Kyle Rittenhouse took his stimmy, and that's where he bought the gun. But he gave it to his friend that was over 18.
Who was 18, who was over 18.
It's like a crime that nobody is talking about. Like, that's the real crime that took place. Because, like, what that's called is a straw purchase. Like, I'm a gun guy. I'm a gun nerd.
Let's break it down with this.
It's a straw purchase. Like
terminology.
Yeah. Let's say if we want to make you laugh. Like, we know people with CD pasts. Let's say you have some kind of conviction, and then, like, let's say the friend, you know who I'm talking about there with the CD pass. So that says they asked like me to buy a gun like for him. Yeah. He gives me the money. I buy it in my name and give it to him. That's a straw purchase, which is a felony. Yeah, like
it's a felony. That's a felony.
They might get me more than him because I actually like did the shit.
You bought it because it's like
couldn't have executed it without me, basically. So yeah,
you can't give a felon a gun.
My charges might be worse than his. It's like even though
you can't give a convicted felon a gun. It's just something you cannot have. You can't have a gun as a convicted felon. And then if you're an underage kid, you can't have a gun because you're an underage kid.
With his stimmy, like he had his friend and his friend lived in Kenosha, so his friend kept the gun at his house. Yeah, like I said, till he was going to keep it there till his 18th birthday. Basically, is what that's the story that came out. Yeah,
and then I'm going to go in a little bit too. Let me put my parenting hat on because I'm a parent and I have a son and a daughter. So like, yes, obviously we know that each person got 600, whatever. If you're under that tax bracket, you got your money. However,
I think the original stemmies, I think, were 1,200, if I'm not mistaken.
Or however much you got, 1,200, 600, whatever the case.
12, then 6, then 14.
Oh yeah, it's like because it was 12 at first, then 6. Yeah, okay. So you got the $1,200.
And then that's the one that probably Rittenhouse bought his AR-15 with the 1,200. I'm saying.
Ain't no way in hell. Like if a stimmy happened and my kids were teenagers, ain't no way in hell that I'm just letting you just like yeah, it's your money technically because you're my dependent, but you live with me and like I pay all the bills in this house. It's like you're my dependent.
So you don't know like where you spent that.
You don't need this $1,200. We're gonna do something responsible with this money. Like, yeah, we're gonna put it in your bank account. We're gonna do something with this. Mm-hmm. Ain't no way in hell that I just let my 17-year-old and you could put that on everything. My kids turned 17. No, you're 17. You're still my minor. You're my dependent. I follow you on my taxes. Mm-hmm. You're not, no. It's like, so the mom is like, what were you doing to let him just do that?
Yeah, but that's how Rittenhouse got the gun to begin with. Yeah, he took his stimmy from last summer. He gave it to his friend to buy the gun. The friend kept the gun at his house. But when he went out there for all of this mess, that's when he like said, I'm gonna carry the gun. Shit is real out here, so like I'm gonna have.
Let me carry for protection.
Yeah, but you clearly weren't ready for that shit. Come on.
He was not ready. And then my other thing about that, just because he purchased a gun, have you ever even fired a gun before? Have you had proper training? Rittenhouse.
Most importantly, are you ready right up here?
Are you ready here? Mentally, are you ready? Like, cause firing a gun, when you fire a gun, you feel it. You feel it through your whole body.
The best case scenario as a gun owner, like I hope I never have to fire my gun outside of a range. The only thing I ever want to shoot is pieces of paper.
It's pieces of paper.
That's what you want. Yeah, that's the best case scenario. Right. But in case, but you have it in case some shit happens. It's like.
And that's why you have to go.
Like I hope for I never have to find anything but a sheet of paper. I hope. Hopefully that. And
that's why you have to go to the range every so often because you have to keep your skills sharp. So, You gotta be like, you don't want to have to use it, but in case somebody kicks in your door and it
happens though, yeah.
You can defend, you can protect yourself, and you can do it accurately, and you can shoot accurately, because when you shoot, you want to accurate. You don't want to be, and then a baby gets shot, or an older person, somebody innocent.
So back to the events that happened in Kenosha that night. Okay, now like the protesters and the militia, they like exchanging words. Rosenbaum is one of those guys, which I'm not even sure like what his story was. They say that he was just out. I think he just got released from a mental hospital or some shit. Like I don't even think he was technically with the protesters, but he was out there though. Yeah. So when shit got real, the Rosenbaum, that's the first guy that Rittenhouse shot.
The one, did he look like Goldberg or somebody?
Mini Stone Cold. Like
Steve Austin. Yeah, I know. I was like, he looked like one of them Goldberg, Steve Austin. He looked like that type. Yeah, I was like, he looked like that type. Yeah.
Rosenbaum. Yeah, I just say, Rosenbaum. Yeah, but that guy. Yeah. And so you see another video of like Rittenhouse did have a fire extinguisher at one point. You see him run past like one of the camera angles. They had all kinds of camera angles now at this trial because everybody got a phone now. So yeah, it was like all kinds of camera angles.
And then they piece it together to make it to tell a story, because like I may have this angle, you got this angle, and now we put it together, and now we can see the puzzle better. We can see the picture better.
There's like drone footage that was out there too.
Because we forgot about that. Drones are out there too. Not only are Ring cameras and other stuff, people got drones.
Cameras in the sky.
You can drones. Yeah, you can do drones. Yep.
But yes, drone. But and then it's like you see a guy putting out a fire with this fire extinguisher. It's like I don't know if that was Rittenhouse himself or if he gave the extinguisher to somebody else to put out the fire. Because then the judge asked him about that. Yeah, well, why were you running towards that fire? And he's like, well, because there was a fire. Like, which not the judge, the prosecutor, like I said, Lionel Hutz. Yeah, like, Lionel Hutz did ask him that. I was like, come on, that's a stupid question. Hey, why are you running towards it? Like, it's a fire. That's why I'm out there to help.
Pull the pin, aim, sweep, pass. When you like put out a fire, PASS. That's what you do with the fire extinguisher.
So then when whoever puts the fire out, that's when Rosenbaum, he just got lost in and shit, yeah. And
loses it, yeah.
Because they had lit the dumpster on fire, and I don't know if they were trying to push it into the building or whatever, but somebody puts it out, Rittenhouse or somebody else that he gave the extinguisher.
Or whoever, yeah.
Somebody puts the fire out, and that enrages, like, especially this Rosenbaum.
That ignites another fire. When you
put that fire out, it lit a whole nother fire.
It lit a bigger fire, yeah. It ignited a huge fire, basically.
And so then it comes that Rittenhouse becomes his target. So then he gets the fuck out of there, Rittenhouse. Like I said, and I go back to what I said on to what I said before. I'll say it now. I didn't say it before, but I'm still on record right now and said I don't know where the fuck those other armed guys went, but like when all this was happening, they got the fuck out of there. Like I said, once again, they were mature, like grown men. So like, we out here to protect, but it's a little too real. I think I'm going.
We know how it is. Like a lot of, like I say this, a lot of situations, a lot of fights, a lot of things like that can be avoided when cooler heads prevail. If you go over here. You go over here. Yeah. Cooler heads prevail.
ARs, I didn't see none of them.
Cooler heads prevail. If you out here, what you gonna do? If you out here and you just boom, that's what's gonna happen. Boom.
That's probably what happened. Once the police pushed the protesters down there by the militia guys, like most of them probably got the fuck out of there after that.
Yeah, they was like, I got family
out here. I'm going home. It's like that's what
I said. They were older people, like our age group. They like, I got kids, I got a wife,
I got a mortgage,
I got a job. Like I got real responsibilities, so I can't risk it all.
Yeah, it's like
I can't risk it all.
I got other things going on in my life besides protecting this building.
Especially this is unpaid too. This isn't your job. Like you're not a police officer. Like police to serve and protect. That's your job. That's your job to serve and protect. But you're militia. You're doing this for free. I'm not risking it all I'm just not. No, I'm not risking it.
Like it's not even my shit either. It's like it's like somebody else. It's just like, you know what? Yeah, like I don't want it to burn, but I'm not risking my life for this. So like,
I'm not risking it all for this.
Got the fuck out of there. That's what I think they left and shit.
And then him, I said, because once again, he left like I said, you always take a buddy with you. You don't go nowhere by yourself. You take where was his friend at? The friend who lived in Kenosha. Where was his friend at? Exactly. What question? Why the fuck are you out there by yourself at 17 years old? You don't know anybody in Kenosha except for your one friend. Why are you out there? Why?
At 8 o'clock curfew, that's when, like you really should have.
But why are you out there? Like, that's my question. Like, I'm gonna go to a town silent scene and just be out there by myself. No one person, maybe. No.
One of the famous videos that everybody pretty much see, you see Rittenhouse run across the lot of the look like a gas station. Mm-hmm. And then Rosenbaum threw a bag, and it was like a plastic bag or something. And at that same time, is a gunshot went off. It wasn't Rittenhouse's gun. This one, you see, like, because they showed a muzzle flash. It was like somebody else firing a shot in the air, like one of the people in the crowd. Yeah,
like a warning shot, maybe.
Shit like that. Yeah,
probably a warning shot.
Yeah, and then like when Rittenhouse heard that shot, and he was like putting two and two. What I think happened, he thought Rosenbaum was the one shooting at him. That's what I think. And then when he spins around eventually and fires off 4 shots, like killing Rosenbaum. And that's when the McGinnis guy, like I said, the reporter, like he's aiding Rosenbaum, like, oh shit, you just shot a motherfucker, basically. So he's like administering first aid. You see Rittenhouse on his phone during this. I don't know who he was talking to, but he is saying like, yeah, I just shot somebody, like
I just killed somebody, yeah, whatever,
somebody, whatever he says, yeah.
Because he seemed very panicked that he killed somebody. He seemed very panicked.
That, like, and then of course the mob is like, oh shit, he got a gun. He just shot that dude. Is like, so
he's shooting people. They shooting.
And I don't know about you, but like, yeah, I don't know who's in this savage ass mob out here, but if you say what you want about me. If I see a fucking guy with an AR-15,
with a rifle,
I'm running the opposite way and shit. Not running towards the guy and shit.
I got too much to live for. I'm running the opposite way. I got keys in hand. I'm getting in my car. I'm driving the fuck out of there.
Even if I was out there, quote unquote, with one of the protesters, like
I'm hot tailing it.
I saw a motherfucker get shot. Like, so okay, I'm out. Like, that would have been my cue to like, yeah, I'm not.
Always have keys in hand. So when you hop in your car, you can just gun it and just.
I'm not chasing the guy. Yeah,
I'm flying 80 the other way.
The most action I got was when I went over on commercial, and that was just people like just stealing mostly. Yeah. When I pulled the gun out, guess what? I would have got the fuck out of there.
You would have got the fuck out of there.
Exactly. Yeah. I did hear gunshots. They were like further up. They weren't where I was at. But somebody pulled a gun out like in front of me. Like, okay, yeah, like that's.
And put your
believe and shit.
And duck. Don't run like Ricky and run in a straight line. We bobbing and weaving and we getting out of there.
That's the guy with a fucking rifle and shit. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I'm bobbing and weaving.
But for whatever reason, they started chasing this motherfucker. Yeah. But yeah,
I guess in Wisconsin they just more savage than I don't know.
Yeah, or maybe
I don't know. Y'all savage.
I'm not as savage as I thought it was because I would have went the opposite way.
Yeah, me too.
Personally, like if I see a dude with a rifle that just shot somebody, not just
with
out
a rifle, yeah,
they're protecting like he just shot somebody with a rifle. Like, okay, yeah, I'll be over this way and shit. Yeah, like I'm out.
And he shot pretty good because the fact that, like I said, if you fire 4 bullets and at least one strikes somebody, one to 2, whatever. A couple of bullets, I'm sure, struck him. Maybe not all 4 guys.
I know he got shot at least 2, maybe 3 times. Yeah.
I think so the fact
shot went in his head. I want to say that's like so. A head, which is another dangerous shot. Headshots are tough because like heads are smaller than a chest shot, and you could move your head around. So like,
right,
if you hit a headshot, you're a damn good shooter.
You're a good shooter, yeah. If you can shoot the head, you're a good shot.
But that was the fatal shot, the headshot that he had. Mm-hmm. And then as he's running like up the street now, like trying to, you see one person like smacks him in the head, like it knocked his hat off. And then he's still running. Then like, I don't know if like the hit is what shook him, and just look at Rittenhouse himself, he wasn't in the best shape. Like I said, he was kind of pudgy and shit. Yeah. He was like, he could tell like he didn't spend a lot of time in the gym. So as he's running, he eventually trips and falls. Like, yeah, during this, yeah. And then he's on the ground. They like, get his ass, get like that's like and that's like the most famous video that you see when he's on the ground and he has the rifle. And then the guy Anthony Huber, skateboard guy. Yeah, he like
with the blunt on his head, trying to take the rifle from him.
Before that is another guy that that jump kicks at him. An unidentified guy. We still don't know who this guy is because he does like a fucking martial arts
jiu-jitsu or something
kind of kick he does at him. He misses. I don't know if he missed or he made kind of contact with Rittenhouse, but he fires at that guy, but he didn't get him. So like the jump kick guy didn't get shot. And then Huber hits him with the skateboard. And then he pulls at the gun, and that's when he fires. It was one shot. And he got him through the heart. Like I said, this is Rittenhouse.
Right.
Yeah, he shot him right through the heart. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then the third guy was Gage. Like he's the one that survived. He testified. We're going to talk about his testimony. And then you see he has his gun in his hand because he had a pistol. I want to say he had a Glock, yeah. So he had his Glock. And then he approaches, Rittenhouse points the gun at him, he pauses, and then he like, for whatever reason, like, yeah, I don't, like I said, like these Wisconsin motherfuckers are savage, yeah. If even like I carry my gun, if I have my shit out and you point a rifle at me, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna slowly back off and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for whatever reason, this Gage dude, he like reapproaches a second time. And that's when Rittenhouse shot his arm. Yeah, with it.
Mm-hmm.
But like, because he didn't shoot him right away. He hesitated at first, like when the guy stops. And then when he approaches the second time, that's when he shot him. Like, why? I don't know why you approached the second time, but yeah, like I said, I'm not.
Especially the fact that you saw him shoot two people, shoot and kill two people, shoot and kill, not just shoot. He shot and killed two people. He shot at a third person, Mr. Jet Li, Mr. Kung Fu guy, whatever.
He didn't get him. No, the guy.
But he didn't get him.
Yeah. Who I don't know who that dude is because like nobody, even in the court, they're like unidentified dude. Like, I want to know who the jump kick man.
He was a ninja. He was a.
We'll know who that ninja was, basically. So then after he shoots Gage Grossboots' arm off, and then that's when you see like the police are at the corner, like in Rittenhouse, he puts his rifle to his side. I
saw that when he like was surrendering. Yeah, he surrendered.
Whatever reason unknown to this day, I still the cops drove right by him and shit.
Well, I'm gonna fill in that blank right there and keep with the Simpsons thing, but because that was Chief Wiggum and Lou and Eddie. That's who that was. That was Wiggum, Eddie, and Lou. That's who that was. We're gonna keep with the Simpsons thing. If the prosecutor is Lionel Hudson, that was Chief Wiggum. Mm-hmm. Incompetent, so they just went on by.
I guess that'll make Rittenhouse sideshow Bob. Then I don't know. But yeah, that's what. Yeah, like because he was surrendering. That's in the video. Yeah, he's like when the police.
I saw that. I saw when he surrendered. Yeah, I saw that.
Because people thought that is like, yeah, like yeah.
He just walked away.
He's walked away. If he was black, they just shot him on the spot. It's like. Now if he had his shit up still, they would have shot him. But
yeah, they would have shot his ass 100. Yeah. He put it down.
Yeah.
He put it down, and he thought he was doing the right thing because he was like, "I'm caught out. It's over with for me. It's over with. It's over with." That's what it looked like in his face. It's over with.
He turned himself in in the morning, like after he went home, and then he turned himself in the very next morning. For the 3 shootings, like 2 fatal that he did. Yeah. But that's the timeline of what happened in Kenosha. So crazy shit. I don't know who's texting me, but somebody's trying to cancel me, right? But in the trial, yeah, like I said, McGinnis, I watched his testimony about when they showed other videos like the medic video. I had never seen that. Yeah, medic. Anybody need a medic? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Then Grossgroots is like the moment. That's like the to me, that was the fatal shot to the prosecution. That's when I posted like Rittenhouse will get
What did he say? I said, let me get my reaction. I'm gonna get my reaction.
It was kind of on some Rick James shit. He was saying like a lot of controversial shit. Kind of like I didn't put my feet on his couch. Yeah, I put my feet on his couch. He was like
contradicting. He was basically contradicting himself. Right. Okay.
First of all, like when the on the night everything happened, like which I get, like you panic shit, is like he said that he had lost his gun. He even have a gun. It's like, yeah. Then when they showed the evidence, like, yeah, well, like look at Exhibit A, like what's that in your hand right there? It's like, yeah.
You looking like Charlie's Angel. You looking like that. Well done.
They said, so you lied to the police, basically. Yeah, like the defense basically, yeah, and they said, and now you're saying that you never pointed to a gun, he just shot you. But like in the video, you see that when you're not pointing it, like, yeah, Rittenhouse doesn't shoot you. When you point it and approach him, so did you point your gun? He's like, yeah, I pointed it, yes. So you said you didn't point it. Now you're saying you did point it.
So basically, they Bill Dutton. See, now you done fucked up. They Bill Dutton, basically. You done fucked up. You know you done fucked up, right? They Bill Dutton.
You said you lost your gun. You didn't even have it. And then you said, well, I had it, but I never pointed it. It's like, well.
But that's not a thing that you're going to forget. You're not going to forget. As a gun owner, you're not going to be like, I lost my gun. That's just a careless thing to do, because if you lose your gun and somebody finds it and they kill somebody and then they get the fingerprints off of it, they trace the gun back to you. This is your gun. This is your gun.
We check the serial number, and that gun.
This is yours.
Registered.
You don't lose your gun. You don't misplace your gun. You're not careless with a gun if you own a gun. You're just not. Mm-hmm. You're just not.
And you can see, like, that's the moment, because like Rittenhouse, you can see him exhaling after that testimony. And even even finally, you see like the assistant prosecutor, like Hunt. That's another meme out there's hanging his head, like.
But he's like this.
Nose is over. Yeah, like the assistant prosecutor's like, oh, and that's one that he's.
The only thing that they may get him on is like you illegally bought a gun, you were underage and illegally, and you crossed state line.
That's the charge. I said that probably a stick, because he was under 18 and had a gun illegally. Like I said, they really need to charge like his friend that bought him the gun. Like,
and he crossed it. Is it something with crossing the state lines too? Something with that?
I gotta check
that one. Yeah. It might be something with crossing the state lines, because he was from a different state, so that may be something with that. But that's really the only thing. Like we always say, you just can't go on emotion. You have to go on what the law.
Let me read some of these responses tomorrow.
You gotta go on what the law says. Like, as much as
Rittenhouse will be acquitted. Let me receive some.
As much as you don't like it, if your job is a prosecutor, this is your job as a prosecutor. Like I said, I'm not even a lawyer or nothing. I don't fancy myself to be a lawyer. I do know someone who is a prosecutor. But as your job is to prove the guilt of this person. You have to prove that this person is guilty.
Beyond a reasonable doubt.
Beyond a reasonable doubt. You have to prove this person is guilty. Defense, you're the opposite. You're trying to create that. If you only have this much reasonable doubt, that's all you need. You just need this much reasonable doubt. Like, yes, okay, it takes me 40 minutes to drive to this location, and the person was killed within an hour and 25 minutes. But did I really have time to go over there, kill them, come home, shower, and go to work? Did I really have time? When you run the timeline, like, yeah, the window would have been super tight if this person was going 90 miles an hour the whole time and ran into traffic.
Like, yeah, and all green lights is like, yeah, like someone.
All green lights. Yeah. It's like, possible, but is that likely that you had no traffic on the highway?
That's the info they hear is like, yeah, like technically he could have done it, but how realistic is that?
Like, you had no traffic on the Kennedy. There's one. You had no traffic on the Kennedy. You were going 90 miles an hour on the Kennedy with no traffic.
And then when you hit the
side
streets, you had all green lights.
Yeah, all green lights. Mm-hmm. That's what you have to prove. You have to prove that. Like, yes, it's possible. It's not likely, but you create just this much reasonable doubt and you'll walk. Like we said about if it doesn't fit you, bust a quit. Cochran said it best. If it doesn't fit you, bust a quit.
Oh, like pretty much, everybody knows OJ did that shit, but the evidence didn't add up.
It didn't add up.
So yeah,
but even something as when the prosecution thought his DNA is in the house. That's my ex-wife. Of course, my DNA is in the house.
Yeah, I live there. Yeah, like my ex-wife's house and my ex-house. I used to live there. So
I used to live there, and we have minor children, so I still go and I see my kids. Mm-hmm. Yes, my DNA is there. I still see my kids. Mm-hmm.
But let me read this shit. It's like because after my Rittenhouse will be acquitted. I got some response on that. Shout out. Yeah, your homegirl Kanisha. she's just put which is why they're bracing for another riot. They definitely are, especially in Kenosha, probably in surround. Yeah, because they already got the National Guard in Kenosha, so they prepared. We
got some family up there in Kenosha, so we're gonna check on our family. We got family up there.
I got another one. Said white kid with a gun kills 2 people. Of course he'll get off. Yeah, but like I said, it's bigger than Rittenhouse. Is bigger than race. This thing.
Yeah, it is.
I got one that said let's not forget to mention 2 words: self-defense. He was being attacked. So, wow, this dude is definitely gonna get canceled too. I see that, like they trying to cancel me. But
well, it's not like about emotion. Like you said, you have to look at did prosecution prove that he killed these people?
This prosecution, Lionel Hutz, absolutely.
And especially when people do that. This is what I hate when people do. Like I said, like I'm not a lawyer, but I do like some law stuff. I do. I'm not a lawyer. I always lead with that. I am not a lawyer.
I don't even play one on TV. So
nor will I ever be. However, when people keep on saying that's first degree murder, I go like this. That's not. Do you know what first degree murder is? Like, do you know what?
That's another reason. Like I said, this prosecutor.
Do you know what first degree murder is?
Another reason this prosecutor's lying because that's what he's been charged with. Like first degree murder is what is the charge. It's like that's the charge. Yeah, first degree intentional.
Oh yeah, he going home. Yeah, he going home.
You gotta prove that Kyle Rittenhouse when he went out there that his goal was to like shoot and kill a motherfucker. You got to prove that. Like first degree murder intent is very hard to prove.
First degree murder is extremely hard to prove, which is why if they do put that on, they attach other charges because you have to have literally. You gotta
put manslaughter and other shit. Yeah, just because in case like you gotta be like, okay, we're gonna shoot for the first degree, but we have this to fall back on.
We got this to fall back on, which is why you'll see them.
Jail time, yeah.
They were found not guilty on first degree murder, but they got guilty on man 2. It'd be something like that. Like they attach like a man 2 or something like that.
I mean, rewind back. Let's go back about a decade. That's why the main reason that George Zimmerman got acquitted because they charged him with murder.
First degree murder.
I think his was second, but still low.
Second, it wasn't second degree murder.
Charges are hard to prove because intent is like
Yeah, you gotta have the intent. Like if you had to face it for like, Dad, I hate these N-words, and the next N-word I see, I'm going to kill, and then you kill somebody that day. Okay, now you got a smoking gun. You have a post on Facebook. Even still, that can even be like kind of a shaky one because you can always say, "Oh, my Facebook got hacked. My Facebook got hacked that day." You could always say that.
And somebody said because like when I read the one about he was being attacked, somebody said with a skateboard versus an AR-15, but like I think that's a dumb argument too because what's one of the oldest sins out there? Like never bring a knife to a gunfight. It's like don't bring a skateboard to a gunfight. Basically, it's like you're gonna chase after a motherfucker with an AR-15. It's like with a skateboard as your weapon, you might get shot. That's kind of on you.
I'm gonna borrow from one of my favorite movies, Do the Right Thing. When the Puerto Ricans is playing their music, dun, 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 and Ray Raheem blasted it, he said, "You got it, bro. You got AR-15. You got it, bro. Me, I ain't got no AR-15. You got it, bro. That's me. You got it, bro. All day. You got AR-15.
Yell of the dead, but if you attack a motherfucker with an AR-15 with a skateboard, you kind of asking to get shot on that.
You might get fucked up. You might get fucked up. That's the bottom line. Like most people with AR-15, they're not just there. It's not there for decoration. It's not there for show. It's not there to look like you don't want to look like Rambo. It's not there to look badass. It's not there for that.
People that have AR-15s are like those are real shooters.
Those are real shooters. Yeah, it's not there to be a badass. It's not.
Those are real shooters. So like most people that have those know how to use them. So
exactly.
We saw Rittenhouse was 17 and he knew how to use his and shit. So
right.
But that's why I posted that. It wasn't even, so I posted my post before he even took the stand. Like mine was the day before when after Gage Grosskreuz's testimony about when he kept like contradicting himself. I'm like, this.
He re-changed it.
He just
maybe he was high. Maybe he was high.
That testimony, yeah. So that testimony just acquitted him right there. Yeah, so like him taking the stand was kind of a victory lap. You didn't even have to do that because you don't have to like take the stand in your own.
You don't. You don't.
Yeah, you don't have to. Yeah, you can't be forced to testify against yourself. But yeah, so if you don't want to take it, you don't have to. Like Rittenhouse chose to, but I wouldn't, especially after that, I wouldn't even take it at all. Like because
me neither.
Especially with I think the crying hurt him more than it helped him. It's like because y'all were winning without that. It's like
because it was like this is what I got out of the crying. It like he was straining because I saw no tears coming out, and he was like,
"It was one tear when he zoomed in," but other than it was
But the way he was like,
LeBron did say LeBron is catching hell now. Because LeBron was like, yeah, man, that boy just ate some lemon heads or something like that. He ain't crying. LeBron said, no, because LeBron gets in on shit like that. So motherfuckers, well, LeBron
needs to be quiet.
Motherfuckers coming after him.
Well, LeBron's a billionaire. He got enough money. So, hey. Yeah, he's a billionaire, so
I think he should. And the Lakers aren't doing the best right now, so yeah, you got.
Yeah, they ain't doing good.
I was like, yeah, Lakers are not that good right now, so yeah, you got more. You know, the Avengers ran into Thanos and shit. Basically, that's what.
Savannah need to take his phone and be like, baby, let's do something else, baby. Savannah, take your man's phone. Take his phone, Savannah. Just take the phone away from your boo.
Rittenhouse didn't even have to take the stand after Gage Group's testimony.
Because he was.
That was it right there. I said that.
He was blinking hard. Because like if you blink hard enough, if you do certain things, you can make tears come out your eyes. You can't force yourself to cry. You can.
And I've studied acting, so I can cry on.
Yeah, you can force yourself to cry. You can.
I've done it before. I'm not there right now. Say I would do it on the podcast, but right now I'm not mentally there. But yeah,
you can force yourself to cry. You can. Mm-hmm.
But that's what I think. And getting back to like in Lady Red's post, so like, was it Red's post or was it? I got a lot of people talking about this trial on my time.
I saw Red saying he was a stupid kid who should have been there. She agreed with you about the stupid.
Yeah,
because he is like.
Because you saw like, guess what? Like the only one, it was like dozens of guys out there with rifles. The only one that shot somebody was the 17.
Was the 17-year-old.
The motherfucker shot anybody and shit out.
Now the 40-year-old didn't shoot. The 17-year-old did.
It started getting too real. They got the fuck out of there.
4-year-old left.
Because that's
all. Those 4-year-old man.
Spider-Man's Uncle Ben Parker said, "With great power comes great responsibility." You carry a gun, that's a huge responsibility. That's a lot of power and responsibility. So, like, you know, when you shoot somebody, like that's real. So, like, when shit got real, like the grown men, they said, "Okay, let's get out of here." Because you didn't see any of them in the video with Rittenhouse.
Like, are you man enough to take a life? Like, that's when you have to live with forever.
Those guys.
If you can take a life, you have to live with that shit forever. If you take a life, you gotta live with that forever.
Like Rittenhouse, like win, lose, or draw with this trial, like Rittenhouse got to live with this forever. Yeah. He probably he's gonna have to change his name. He can't just like go back to even if he is acquitted, his life is fucked. Like either way, like it's like dude, like he would have to like change his name and like start over, like move to another town and start over.
Move to a different when no one knows your name.
Yeah.
And change your name.
Or the Cheers, yeah.
Or opposite of Cheers.
Yeah, and anti-Cheers, yeah. But getting back to then in another post, which is what we always do as Black people, because in another post I posted, like, I don't know why people have made this racial. It has nothing to do with Black people.
It doesn't.
Rittenhouse is a white dude with a rifle protecting a white business.
Who shot 2 white people.
Killed 2 white motherfuckers. Like, what does that have to do with Black people?
And injured another white person.
Yeah, why is
was there even Black people? Was there even Black people in sight in those protests? I really don't think I really saw any Black people really.
And it was some out there, but guess what? He didn't shoot them. He was out there to shoot and kill Black people. It was Black people out there. You see him even talking with one, yeah. Like when he's doing the whole medic thing, he had a conversation with some it was a little group of Black folk, and then they said something, and then he just walked away. They probably said, "Oh, you did somebody's rifle or something." Because somebody said something to him, and then he just walked up.
You know how Black people are.
Yeah.
What you got a gun out here, homie? Man. What up, cuz?
Yeah, you think you're a badass or something? It probably was something like that. But Rittenhouse did walk the other way. And shit.
Well, we say Joe in Chicago. What up, Joe? We say Joe. I don't know what they say in Kenosha. But
you tough, huh? Like, yeah, I didn't hear what the guy said, but it was like, but he walked away. Rittenhouse didn't want that smoke, whatever it was. He walked away.
Yeah, so I mean, from my appearance, he doesn't seem like he is racist. I mean, I don't know his personal business. I mean, if we go into his Facebook and we see Confederate flags and see the white man superior.
The only connection is that he was seeing that he was at a Trump rally last, but I don't think that necessarily makes you a racist because you went to a Trump rally. A lot of motherfuckers went to Trump ralies and shit. But he was at a Trump rally, so that's where the whole race thing came from to begin with. Here's a picture of him. Did you know the kid that shot and killed people in Kenosha? Here's him at a Trump rally.
Here's him at a Trump rally.
Picture him at a Trump rally, so that's where the whole thing happened. And then Was I saying, yeah, because I said if Rittenhouse was black, because as black people, we always got to insert ourselves in the bullshit. Like January 6th, Kyle Rittenhouse is like, these things have nothing to do with black
They
people.
have nothing to do with us.
Insert ourselves in them for whatever reason. It's like, yeah.
Okay. And this is why I challenge, and this may get me, people may get mad at me, but I'm going to say it. As black people, we're doing exactly what the Karens are doing that we talk about. We're doing that when we do that. When we talk about, yes, and with the black, what about black people? What about all like let's say when white people do that, when we talk about a plight that black people have, that's a real plight that black people have, and white people have had so and so.
It's like you sound like the opposite of the all lives matter, motherfucker.
That's what you sound like when you do that. You do. You sound like that. We make fun of people who do that, and then we turn around and do it back.
And I flip it back on people that say that, yeah, as hopefully we won't get canceled. But I said, so okay, let's say it was, what if Kyle Rittenhouse was black and he came out there to protect the black business with a Black Panther, a black militia and shit, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Would you have a problem with that? Let's say if it was here in Chicago, a black-owned business, yeah. Out there to protect you, yeah, with your gun.
Which is a lot of black-owned businesses. I've seen the signs around. It's a lot of black-owned businesses on the side, especially on the south side. It's a lot.
Getting unrest goes on. You say, okay, yeah, I'm gonna go over there with my gun. I don't want to burn the brother's business down. I'm gonna go out there and help. It's like, yeah. Mm-hmm. Would you be against that?
Let's Matthew McConaughey. Now let's imagine if he was black. Let's Matthew McConaughey that shit from A Time to Kill. Let's do it right now.
There's black militias out there, like I said, and black people don't that a lot of, I don't. Here's what's fucked up about. What's a lot of things fucked up about black. Here's what's fucked up about the way a lot of black people think is like they don't think that the Second Amendment is for us. When they think Second Amendment, you think of some Duck Dynasty, like white dude with a beard down to here and shit. Like, yeah, but
you think of Dog the Bounty Hunter. You think of that.
The Second Amendment is for everybody. It's like
everybody.
Black people too. Yeah, you know who was pro Second Amendment? The Black Panthers. You know who else?
There you go.
Malcolm X. Like you saw.
There you go. Because Malcolm X had the right by any means. Yeah. By any means necessary. Let's go.
Pro Second Amendment. Harriet Tubman. She carried a gun on.
Yeah, she carried.
It's like people try to turn back. So she said, "Hey, like, yeah,
get your ass over there.
You die, basically. Yeah, you're not going back though. Yeah, you go.
Get your ass over there.
She carried. Ida B. Wells was pro Second Amendment. She said every black person needs to have a fucking shotgun in their house. So yeah, so. A lot of our black heroes were pro.
A lot of ours.
Go back in the history, yeah.
And everybody always talk about your old relatives, granny or uncle. Somebody had a gun in your house. One of your relatives had a gun.
Back then, yeah. We saw Rosewood, yeah. Sylvester, he carried it, and Ving Rhames, like yeah, they own guns.
They carry. So the Second Amendment is for everyone. It's for everyone.
Whatever reason we act like is just for Dog Dynasty and Dog the Bounty Hunter. That you got to be. Well, Larry the Cable Guy. You think that's you got to be white in a flannel shirt with a fucking beard and shit, looking like Al from the
Jeff Foxworthy.
Yeah, Al Borland from Home Improvement.
Tiger King. Yeah,
that looks like the Tiger King. Like you think that is just for the wallet. No, it's for your black ass too, basically. Yeah. It's
for everyone. This is all inclusive.
It is black militias out there. Like there's a bunch of brothers in Georgia. They call them the NFAC. It's but not fucking around coalition is what they basically. Yeah.
Shit, I like that.
There's a bunch of, and they look like, you know how the cats like looked in we went to Donda, like they were dressed in all black, like they walk like they dress in all black like that with their AR-15s.
It's shit.
So Georgia's open carry. So there's a bunch of brothers out there.
Shit. Yeah, I like that.
The NFAC, not fucking around. If I lived in Georgia, I probably would be a member of that militia. Because like, here's
the boss right there.
I like them, but they do need some safety techniques because like they probably like need to screen some of these brothers a little bit better because I've seen like videos like where like somebody's gun went off accidentally. So like somebody definitely needs to get some of them brothers some safety training. Like have random shots going on, especially you got like 50 guys with rifles and a shot goes off, it's gonna freak you out and shit like
yes.
Yeah, you might start shit. So definitely like get the brothers.
You need training.
Yeah, because I like the image of the black militia, but
I like the foundation.
Safety training, no, yeah.
Let's get in Chicago. Come on, we need it in Chicago. We need it. We need that in Chicago. Yes.
But it is a bunch of it's Second Amendment for us. It's Colion Noir, he's a 2A advocate, black dude. Maj Toure is another one. He has a group called Black Guns Matter that he's like that he has.
Okay.
With basically like trying to raise gun awareness like with black people.
Let's erase the stigma that Second Amendment is not for us, and let's educate ourselves. You say that you want to learn and beat the system. Well, learn the system first. You learn the system, you can beat the system if you learn the system.
A lot of your heroes were like gun owners. I'm just saying.
There you go.
Names I just mentioned earlier.
There you go.
The Malcolm X picture, we all seen that. Yeah. I think he had I think that was an AK-47 or something he has in the picture. He's looking out the window. Yeah.
Yeah, Malcolm wasn't fucking around. Malcolm wasn't fucking around. He wasn't.
But you got anything else? Because we went long on that Rittenhouse.
I know Kyle Rittenhouse just did the whole thing. My thing, like
There's
I said,
a lot going on, yeah.
And I'll leave it with this. I agree with you and Lady Red. He was a 17-year-old kid. He had no business, and 17 is still a child. That is a child. Like, he wasn't mature enough to be out there. He couldn't handle it when shit got real. Like, it's one thing to be like, I'm part of the militia. I'm part of the crew. I'm doing stuff out here. I'm saving. I'm helping
people. It's dangerous, though. Yeah, you wasn't ready to handle it. Yeah.
And then when real danger happens.
Because just because you have a gun, like I said, it doesn't mean you have to use that gun. Yeah.
Exactly.
When shit dangerous, like the best thing to do is to walk away.
Walk away.
If somebody threatens your life, then you should. But like, if shit is just like getting chaotic,
if it's just verbal,
just leave. It's like if shit gets
like verbal, like fuck you, stupid ass. That's not a reason to shoot somebody. Yeah, it's not. It's just verbal at this point. You're just blowing off steam. You're just being verbal. But so many people get shot over verbal disagreements. So many people do.
Especially in the hood and shit.
Yeah, it's a verbal thing. Just walk away. Cooler heads will always prevail. Walk away.
Shout out Maze Jackson. Yeah, speaking of he got carjacked. They did find the motherfucker.
Oh.
So yeah. Maze Jack. Yeah, in South Loop of all places. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
By this crazy looking white dude. So yeah, not all carjackers are black. Yeah, this is the motherfucker. They caught him and shit. Yeah, it's fucking nut. Yeah, that's the that carjacked Maze Jackson. So. I'm glad they caught the motherfucking Maze. Will say this. He said the dude I think rear-ended him, and then when he gets out, that's the one thing about these accidents. Be careful with these accidents, dude. Some of my setups is like the dude rear-ended him just to like get his attention. And then when he got out to exchange, like that's when he stole his car. That's what that. So it was a setup with that. Yeah, the dude was trying to carjack Maze, but yeah, but they caught the motherfucker, found the car. So good for them. But.
Idiot.
Had to wrap this up real quick. Not another damn podcast. Bigger than Rittenhouse, episode 233. If you like what we're doing, hopefully you still like what we're doing.
We told the truth. We told the truth. That's all you can do.
Tell the truth. Yeah, like Will Smith. Yeah.
Tell the truth.
Concussion. Yeah. Give us a like. Also, subscribe, share, rate, review on all your platforms. I'm talking about Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, SoundCloud, iHeart, TLC Talk Radio. What up, Tasha?
Hey.
Your Amazon Alexa devices and on YouTube below something like. Yeah. Let's pull it up a little bit right there. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah. And follow me at Ozman the Wizard on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Oz Radio on Snapchat and Facebook as well. You know how I do.
Hey, you can check me out, MSIMA8626 on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Also, SCR8GULLEY1 on Twitter, SCR8GULLEY7 on Instagram. Also, please like the Straight Gully Facebook fan page. Check out straightgully.com for your blogs and your vlogs. And for your video production needs, check out straightgullyproductions.com.
I'm Ozman the Wizard.
And Naima.
We will talk to you later.
Bye.
I'm gone.